どうも皆さんこんにちは、染色と申します。デッドリープリモニション2続きをプレイしていきたいと思います。前回ね、遺体安置場の代わりにとなっているね、この冷凍庫へやってきたわけですけども、空飛ぶヘビがいなかったっていうことで、さらに奥の、地下の、高級食品保管庫に向かいたいと思います。こっちでいいのかな、奥だろうしね。あるね。さて、さらに寒いらしいですからね。メルビンがすげえ行きたくねえって言ってましたけど。そうなの？持ってないんかい。そっか。手配してこい。なんだ
？Thing is, Mr. York, you know the Clarksons, the folks who own this place. Well, they don't too much like the police. They sure as hell.
そういう感じ？
It was real hard for me to get permission to open up this place for you to search through. So they ain't gonna be too happy if I go back to them now.
ちょっとそういう感じの人だね。ちょっとこう嫌な感じですね。印象良くないですね、やっぱクラクソン系。
What should we do then?
Let's just find a worker here who can lower the elevator for us instead. All they need to do is take a break from their work for a couple minutes.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand here and pretend like nothing's happening?
Yeah, you FBI folks are good at that, right? That's always what I say.
それはテレビの中。しょうがねえな。近場から見ていく？そういうことでもなく、普通に教えてくれそうだね。そうしましょう。戻るね。オッケー。で、これもで、次々と来ますね。で、通れなくないか？そういう感じね。この視点よ。で、これぐらいでいいかな。で、しゃがんで、奥へ。で、これも押せるから。で、そこに事務所的なとこかな。
Zach, the human ability to adapt is a frightening thing. Some humans have the power to sleep anywhere as long as they set their minds to it.
いや、わかるよ。あら。
Now we should be able. No need to worry. This facility no longer has a body to. What else do they have to lose? A few cans of crawfish. I feel bad for him, but it's for the sake of the investigation.
普通にそういう感じね。ちょっとひどいっちゃひどいな。寝てた方が悪いってことで。ちょっとね、仕事中の居眠りぐらい、多少はね、多め意味で欲しいよねって思うわ。でもないけれど。よし。間違えた。拝借してきましたよ。
Mr. York, now that's my special agent.
や関係ねえんだなこれ。
Want to head straight down?
You bet.
行こう。
Let's sally forth, Melvin. Zach, look at that thermometer. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 17.7 degrees Celsius. This is the ambiguous zero.
なるほど。ここで空飛ぶ蛇を探すと。
Hey, Avery!
エイブリーさん
Open the damn door, Avery!
音楽聴いてるから開けてくんねえ
It
な。
ain't no use, Mr. York. Once Avery starts working on something, that's all he sees. He just tunes out everything else. We'll have to wait until he finishes and comes out to us, I reckon.
待ってらんねえよ。
Or we could come back tomorrow.
I disagree, Melvin. Time may be on our side, but that doesn't mean we should
そうだ
waste it.
ね。
You gave me Mr. Alligator precisely for moments like these, didn't you?
Wait, Mr. York! Those tranquilizers may be non-lethal,
違う違う
but
違う
it's
違う。
still dangerous to use them on humans.
そっ
Of
ちじゃ
course,
ない。
Melvin. I never said I was going to shoot him.
You're gonna shoot some meat to get his attention.
そういうこ
I'm
と。
right, ain't I?
はい、わかりました。お、セーブポイントを見つけたので、セーブセーブセーブ。はい。よし。違う。これじゃない。お。すごい動きしてるけど、肉。
This is Mr. York, an agent from the FBI.
でかいな。
Hi, Avery. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
York, you a smarty pants, hmm?
シンプルだね。エイブリー・スミス。
He's shyer than he looks. Come on, just settle down, Avery. Tell him what this here place is for.
Lots of expensive food here. Yep. Mighty precious to the Clarksons, so I gotta guard it.
ああ、だから
I see.
でかい。
So
感じ
you're
の
this
そう
area's
だね。
keeper.
Oh, I help
Thank
with the
you.
research
Thank
too.
you.
I do like
うん。
research.
そうなんだ。へえ。ちょっと似合わないね。
What are you talking about, Avery? This doesn't look like a lab to me.
Oh, ain't no lab. It's a warehouse. Ain't no lab. The smarty pant scientist does the research. I ain't no smarty pants, you know.
He's a bit slow in the mind, but
まあ
he
まあ
ain't a
まあ、
bad
いい
guy.
やつそうだけどね。確かに。
Your story about the giant who carried Lisa out. Don't tell me you think it's him. I mean, it's true that he's free to come and go as he pleases in this warehouse, but
No, as far as I can tell, he's just
そ
a
うだ
bit
ね。
over 6'5".
3メートルはない。
The one who moved Lisa's body must be at least 10 feet tall. He's clearly too short.
too short, huh?
っていうか3メートルってやばくない？どんな、
Well,
いい
if
の
you
そ
ever
んな
happen
の
to。find a man who makes him look small, I'd sure like to meet him.
肩車？
Lease.
Hey, cut it out!
Lease? Why?
リース
Avery, that's not lease.
Not lease?
This is Melvin's daughter, and my precious assistant. Unfortunately, Elise is no longer with us.
Lease. Lease. My fault.
いや、何してんの？大丈夫？
I guess he's sort of like Lise, you know? See, the poor fella's got himself a childlike mind. You know how normal kids tease other kids in order to get attention? Well, with this big lug, sometimes folks who don't know him too well see something and end up calling the police. But I know that deep down, he's got a good heart.
そうだな。
Hey, Mr. York,
ちょっと
I'll keep him
直
busy.
情的な
But I'd
感じはあるけ
appreciate
ど
it if you
ね。
hurry this particular inspection along.
そうね。
Just holler at me if you find anything. I reckon that'll make it easier for you to go do your
任せ
thing.
る。
Yeah?
Melvin, I think you're finally starting to catch on.
はい。空飛ぶヘビ。さて、どこにあるのかな？
Hung alligators. I suppose in a way they sort of look like flying serpents. But that's pushing it. Remember, we're in a dark basement here. They'll never reach the sky.
そうだね。で、これは
Andouille.
アンドゥイ。
Now here's some real Cajun cuisine. The way these sausages are linked up, they almost look like a serpent. But it's hard to imagine them flying. Let's move on, Zach.
ヘビね。これは
Frozen oysters.
オイスターか。
Personally, I'd
Kakika.
rather have a cocktail filled with fresh ones. We hunt for more materials than we can eat and freeze them over long periods of time. The human race gives terror a
そ
whole
う
new meaning.
ね。まあ、大量消費の時代ですから。牛ガエルの足をゲッチュ。ここは
Cans of Holy Trinity paste.
Paste
Onions,
to
bell
count.
peppers, and celery.
え
The absolute basics for any this product combines them all into some sort of paste. People actually buy this garbage? Even the name sounds Zach, I just made an eternal promise with myself. If I ever happen to come across any food prepared with this
じゃあ
paste,
そのレストラン
I
も
would
これ
never call
使
it
ってる
Cajun
ん
food.
じゃないの？ってことはケイジャン料理の店と言っちゃいけないと、容器的には。
There are torn off claws and legs scattered all over the ground. I doubt they'll fly anytime soon. I can't tell which ones are from crawfish and which
ああ、
parts
エ
are from
ビ、
shrimp.
ザリガニ、そういう系ね。
How about you,
甲
Zach?
殻類。俺はカニだと思ったんだけどな。まあ、わかんないね、確かに。お、これは
Avery, this box looks special.
トンボのマーク。ああ、そうか、クラクソンをね。
For their home.
Melvin, is this the
だね
Clarksons'
そんな話
family
してた
crest?
な。
Oh, the dragonfly?
ドラゴンフライ。あ、そっか。トンボってドラゴンフライか。ああ。
Yeah, that's the Clarkson's mark, all right. Ain't no big deal, though. You can find those all over town.
空飛ぶヘビじゃねえの。ドラゴンフライ。
Is that so?
Well, yeah. They pretty much run all of this town's major industries. Yeah. I do believe they own just about
そうね。
everything there
言い
is.
方はちょっとあれだけど
They
も。
got the whole darn town tattooed with their dragonflies. Can't even walk a few steps without seeing one.
Zach, this dragonfly is our flying
だ
serpent.
ね。
The flying serpent owns this town. They're related to Lise Clarkson, our victim. And Hungan's oracle pointed us toward their family crest. The Clarksons must be deeply intertwined with this case.
これ別にここじゃなくても分かったんじゃねえか？
I think I've had enough of this frozen world. Let's head back out to that merciless sun.
戻ろう戻ろう。もうこの二人からしたらなんでここ来たんだろうぐらいの。
Well, what are you waiting for? I can't bear to spend another second down
い
here.
やもうパティの足がかわいそうだな。寒そうだよ本当に。いやー、ヨークはあれだね。オリジンズの時以上にすげえマイペースなのが際立つね。うん。周りをすげえ巻き込んでるわ。まあ、それがヨークの魅力っていうのもね、あながちね、否定はできないと思うんだけども。まあ、あんまり好かれる感じじゃないよね。確かにね。でも、俺はよくいいと思うよ。そういうとこ。マイペースでいいじゃない。ね。ちょっと巻き込まれたくはないけどね。
So, what do we do now, Mr. York?
Zach and I will take things from here.
Then what should I do?
Tend to your sick wife? I don't know.
そうだね。
You're free to do as you please. I'll stop by the sheriff's office when I need your help again.
I suppose that's what I'll do then. It'll sure make Candy happy. But I am the sheriff of this town, so I do intend to get some work done. I know. How about I search for Lisa's body while you're busy?
ぜひ捜索して。
Not a bad idea. Just be careful that you don't get attacked by a barefooted giant.
Hey, don't scare me like that.
そうだよね。イエティみたいだよね。まるで3メートルで裸足。
Why do you keep talking about that giant anyway? You really think some giant was responsible for all this?
Melvin, don't be silly. Of course I do. Just when I thought you were starting to catch on.
But how can you be so sure?
Proof number one. The footprints that led up to where Lisa's body originally was were made with bare feet. None of the prints looked similar to those of common insulated boots, and the arches of the feet were visible.
てかもう指の跡もあ
The
ったもん
person
ね、
who
足
carried
の。
out Lisa's body must have had very large feet. I'd say they were at least 16 inches. Proof number two. I found fingerprints on the cord of one of the hanging lights in the warehouse. The fingerprints weren't aimed up from below. They were coming directly from the side. Clearly, the giant moved the light because it was in his way. He pinched the cord with his fingers. Proof number three. There was nothing else found in the vicinity where Lisa's body was stored. This means the giant carried her out without dragging her across the floor. But there's only one set of footprints. The only conclusion I can draw from this evidence is that a barefooted giant standing over 10 feet tall carried Lisa's body out. That concludes the entirety of my proof. Any objections, Melvin?
But there ain't no way a
ああ
human
そう
can
な
ever
って
be
くるよ
that tall.
ね。
Have you seen every human alive with your own eyes? Well then,
可能性としてね。
you need to forget all your preconceived notions when embarking on an investigation. Whether you come face to face with a 10-foot giant or a skeletal gentleman, you always need to accept everything that comes to you with a clear mind.
クリアマインド。
Do that, and eventually the truth will reveal itself to you. You're a smart kid, I'm sure you understand.
Well, I'll be damned. I'm sorry I ever doubted you,
いや
Mr.
褒めんなってそんな
FBI
感じで。
Special Agent, sir. A sharp eye and flawless observational skills, uncovering the truth with a heady intuition. I won't ever question you again. Heck, I'll do whatever you say.
That's it, Melvin. I'm glad you finally caught on. Okay, time to go, Patty. You know this town well, so I'd like you to accompany me from now on.
おう、
Patty?
パティついてきてくれんの。そっか。
Zach, we found the flying serpent. Now we simply need to locate the 10 maidens. It's time to head on to Alexis's diner and lane.
そうね。レストランに向かおうか。よし。とりあえず、ここのセーブポイント。セーブは相変わらずさせていただきますが。ほい。んで、バルーン何なんだろうね。これなんか壊せたりするのかな。そういうことじゃないのね。まあいいや。とりあえずこのままレストランに向かいましょう。こっちの方向っぽいからどんどん進みますよ。
Yes, we're talking about him. Buddha, is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of evil? Still too early to
そう
tell.
だね。
But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me.
魂がそう言ってるのかい。
By the way, Zach, Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. I think I see the connection. Cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be overlapping him with the skeleton gent. Do you remember his name? Ah, yes, that's it. Scatman Crothers. In 1980,
ああ、シャイ
he
ニン
played
グ
Dick
ね。
Halloran in The Shining. And in 1983, he was in The Twilight Zone. He played the man who invited all those elderly folks into a strange new world.
いや、シャイニングもね、見ようと思ってずっと見てない映画の一つなんだよね。いい加減見たいな。
Our skeletal gentleman is a little younger, isn't he? Yes. They have different body types, but what about Forrest Whitaker? He made his debut in 1982 in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Then he was in Platoon and The Color of Money, both released in 1986, followed by Good Morning Vietnam in 1987. Oh, he was in Burn in 1988. What an impressive filmography. Across the 80s, he transformed his rough, young image into a more cheerful, wiser one. That's why the 80s can also be described as the decade that built up for...
おります。あ、話途中だった。やべえ。しょうがねえ。よし。では、ここのセーブポイントがあるんだが、レストランアレクサス。
Patty, is something wrong?
I got something to say.
なんだい？
When I first met you in the hotel parking lot, you mentioned Saint Rouge, right? If you want to find it, maybe you should track down Professor R.
プロフェッサー
Professor R.
Yeah. Professor R owns the jazz bar on the other side of the bayou.
How do you know that?
Because.
Because, huh? Interesting.
まあまあ、詮索しなくていいんじゃないかな。アンロックした。というところで、今回はセーブをして終わりにしたいと思います。次回、こちらのボーリング場、ケイジャン料理のあるレストランで、ストライクを取れってことなんでね、ストライクを取りたいと思います。取れるかなというところで、今回はここまで。ご視聴ありがとうございました。